Hello my dear students, hope you all are well. Today in this video we are going to discuss the topic Zamindars resist and as well as the topic fifth report. These topics are the continuation of this video is the continuation of chapter 10 of class 12th history, that is colonialism and the countryside. Students, in the previous video we discussed that when Britishers came to India, the first territory occupied by them was the territory of Bengal, which is also known as the Diwani of Bengal. Diwani of Bengal means they get the right to collect the revenue from the region of Bengal. After getting the right to collect the revenue from that region, what happened during the, as I told you, during the early phase, that is 1770s, they don't get the regular flow of the revenue because of some agricultural crisis, famine condition and other things. That's why they started thinking about the solution of this problem so that they can have a regular source of income. And they got the solution in the form of the land settlement. So Britishers came up with the first land settlement, that was the permanent settlement system, which we discussed in the previous video. What was there in the permanent settlement system? First thing, it was introduced in the year 1793 by Lord Cornwallis, and according to the settlement, the revenue was demand was fixed, and that have to be paid by the zamindar. Zamindar have to collect the revenue from the peasant and have to give it to the company, that is East India Company. And what we saw that when we go inside the story of this, we saw that the zamindar class faced so much problems in submitting that revenue or to collect that revenue from the peasant because of the agricultural crisis, many agricultural problems at that time due to the low price of the crops. Peasants can't be able to give the money to the zamindar, and that's why they can't be able to give the revenue to the company, and that's why they lost their right over the land. Till here we have done in the previous video. Now in this video, in this topic zamindars resist, we will study about the solutions that were found by the zamindar class to face this problem. Means in which way zamindars were able to overcome this situation. Because once when they can't be able to pay the revenue to the company, they lost their right over the land. So how they overcome this thing, how they resist the situation so that they can't be they could not lose their control over the zamindari over the land. So here we discuss about the solution which were brought up by the zamindar class. First one was that of the fictitious sale. This one, fictitious sale. What is fictitious sale? Means, as I told you, once the zamindar can't be able to pay the revenue, their zamindari or their land was auctioned. And once the auction took place, the land goes to the highest bidder, the zamindari got transferred there. Now what the zamindar did, they did the fictitious sale, means the sale of the auction which took place of their zamindari was not the actual one, real one, it was the fictitious one or the fake one. In the way, what the zamindar did, they make their agent to sit among the bidders. Bidders means the person who bid, जो बोली लगाते हैं ऑक्शन के टाइम पर, वहाँ पर वो उनको अपने एजेंट्स को बिठा दिया करते थे. एंड द एजेंट्स ऑफ द जमींदार, व्हाट दे डिड, दे कीप ऑन बिडिंग द हायर प्राइस. एंड वंस द ऑक्शन गेट ओवर and the highest bidder was the agent of the zamindar. Once the auction get over, then when the time came to pay the money of the pay the amount which they bid for the zamindari, then they denied of the payment. That's why the auction took place again, and again the same situation repeated. This thing keep on repeating time endlessly, many times. And at last what happened, by getting fed up by such a situation, what the company did, they at last give the zamindari back to that previous person, previous zamindar, at the lower price. So this was one of the way in which zamindar can be able to secure their right over their zamindari land. Okay. Another solution was that, another way found out by the zamindar was that they transferred their land to their mother or some other female member of the family, because there was the law under the Britishers that the land belonged to the female would not be auctioned. That's why they transferred their land to their mother or some other female family member. Third way was that if by any of the way the auction took place and the zamindari got transferred to any new person, then what happened, that new person obviously don't belong to that particular area, village from where they have to collect the revenue. And when the agent of that new zamindar came to collect the revenue, then the lathias means the person of the previous zamindar, they started beating them with the that of rods and the luts, and because of that they can't be able to collect the revenue, means they resist those agents to enter the village and to collect the revenue. And resistance, sometimes we saw that the resistance was also offered by the peasant class, because peasant found themselves to be more associated with the previous zamindar as compared to that of the new one. So better in this topic what we studied about the ways found out by the zamindar to overcome the problem of losing their right over their zamindar. Okay. Now after completing this topic, now we move to another topic, that is the fifth report. This is one of the important topic of the chapter, which is many times keep on asking in the exam also. So listen regarding this carefully. What is fifth report? Fifth report is the report on administration and activities of the East India Company in India. The activities or the administration which the East India Company did in India, they have to submit the report of that in the British Parliament. Okay, so that is the report. And why it is known as the fifth report? Because this report submitted by the Britishers is fifth in the series, which they keep on submitting. Okay, this is the fifth in the series. And this fifth report was submitted in the year 1813. So before studying more about the fifth report, first we have to go into the background of the story, why the system of submitting the report was introduced. Because as you know, the East India Company was the private company of Britain. After getting the royal charter, the charter from the Queen, to have a monopoly over the trade in India, they came to India and they did the trade in India. And East India Company got the monopoly to trade. Monopoly means the only company which have the right in Britain to come to India and to come to India or to the East and did the trade here. Okay. And because of that monopoly right of East India Company, it was keep on criticized by a number of the people in the British Parliament, because they also want to gain the profit from that colony, from the colonies in the East like India, China, etc. That's why they keep on criticizing the East India Company. And the news of the corruption done by the East India Company in India keep on going there in Britain, and which also became an issue of a debate over there. And because of that, these people keep on insisting the government of the time to take up that monopoly right from East India Company and to permit other people also to have a trading right in India and the China. That's why by getting when the government of Britain keep on getting the news of this, and the insistence or the pressure is keep on coming from the parliament side or from many other people, then the government make a law according to which it was made compulsory for the East India Company to submit its annual report, not annual report, a report of a time period of a few years. They keep on submitting that report of all the administration and activities which were done by the company in India. Okay. So hope you understood many things. Now we go into a detail. First thing, what is the fifth report? and when it was introduced. The fifth report was came in the year 1813. The report was on the administration and activities of East India Company in India. This particular fifth report was a huge report which was written on over 1002 pages. Means it was a large report. Which consists of the petitions submitted by the zamindars as well as the complaints done by the peasant class or the collector of the revenue to that of the East India Company. So all these petitions, requests as well as the complaints were also get included in the report so that the actual situation can be understood by the British Parliament, in the British Parliament. Now, reason why the report was submitted, why the law was there to submit the report, this thing I explained to you. There was a group in England who opposed East India Company monopoly. Monopoly means the right which they only enjoyed by them only over the trade in India and China. And they wanted a revocation of Royal Charter. Revocation of Royal Charter means the change in the Royal Charter to take away this monopoly and to give the right to trade to others also. Apart from this, information about company misrule and maladministration. This thing was hotly debated in the British Parliament. As the result, the British Parliament passed a series of acts, many laws in the late 18th century. Late 18th century means around 1790s. Switch. Okay. And according to these acts, this thing forced the company to submit a regular report. That's why this report is fifth in the series of these reports. Now we understood what was the fifth report, why the report was submitted and what was there in the report. Now the final thing which we study is that how to handle the report now. Now how the Indian researchers or the historian handle that report. Because at the time when the report was submitted, that was significant for the British Parliament. But now whether the report is significant for us also, for the Indian researchers also. So before studying the report, we must have to keep the motive behind the writing of the report. Why the report was written and the report was written by whom. That's why by knowing, consulting both these things, reason behind writing the report as well as who had written the report. This thing when we go into the detail of this, then we understood that we have to be very careful while reading the report. Why? Because all the things mentioned in the report are not correct, exactly the same. We found that there was so much exaggeration of the thing. बहुत सी चीज़ें बढ़ा चढ़ा के उसमें लिखी गई हैं, like और क्यों लिखी गई है, why it was done, so that the maladministration of the company can be shown in the parliament or can be exposed in the British Parliament. So that's why we must have to be very careful while reading the report or while coming to any of the conclusion after reading the report, because the report consists of the exaggeration. The example of this you can take from here, that the report say that so many means hundreds of the zamindar lost their zamindari rights, but the report never mentioned this thing. Means report has not mentioned anywhere that there was a fictitious sale of the zamindari also. And because of this fictitious sale, most of the zamindar retain their right over their land. They don't lose their right over the land. Apart from this, we also, after reading the report, we also have to examine the archives. What are the archives? Archives were the original document of the revenue. What was the actual revenue collected from various places, or other means original document of the time, the primary source. So after reading the report, we also have to examine those archives report, and we have to cross check both the thing, then only we can go to any of the conclusion. So we have to handle the report very carefully. Thank you.